Hello guys, and I was at GameFest yesterday, so what I decided to do is make a video of a quick tour around. As you can see, we've got Mario and Sonic Generations right at the entrance. I found that a bit strange. There's much bigger games there, but at the same time at least it filters through and doesn't start a massive clock right at the start where you can't move. Bethesda also had the very opening sections of the show, and it has to be said, the queues at Bethesda were huge. Not that it's surprising. I mean, they've got Skyrim, Prey 2 and Rage on the show. So yeah, just look at the queues. I heard that Skyrim, well, I never heard, I saw Skyrim, and Skyrim was not actually playable. It was a show. Each show lasted for nearly half an hour, and it was about 30 people that went through, sat down and watched the presentation of it being played. It was really good, but the queue to get in there was like 2 hours long easily. It just was so long. So I want to give a big thanks to the Bethesda guys that snuck me in, because I explained what I was doing and they was really good with that. I didn't see what all these games were, to be honest, because I was just looking at then. We had a lot of consoles out there, which to be honest, they're not my thing. I'm PC purely, so I kind of ignored that. Up to the top right, we got Turtle Beach, which had their range of headsets. Good stuff for the consoles. There's not really much out for the consoles, which has got a good price point, so that was decent. Rage had let you play, but again, the queue was about an hour and a half long, so it wasn't that easy. And this is the Friday, so a lot of the kids should have been at school, so it's going to be busier today. Well, it's Saturday today, so today and Sunday, so I feel sorry for the people that couldn't get there on Friday. Saints Row the Third, the queue was not that big. It's kind of a surprise because it was a really good game. I actually got to sit down with that for about 10 minutes. The gameplay, to be honest, it was running on a low FPS. It was a bit jerky, stuttery. The graphics weren't amazing, but the control scheme worked great, and it was a whole load of fun. I'm looking forward to that on the PC, as long as it doesn't have the same problems as what it had on the original game. In front of you, you got Zelda, and I don't really know much about Zelda anymore. I used to love the games when I played on the Super Nintendo and the N64, but I haven't had a Nintendo for a while. But I think the stand is one of the best looking stands at Gamesfest. It just looks really quaint. It's got a nice feel to it. So yeah, so kudos to Nintendo for doing that. And the game looks pretty impressive as well, so I might have to check that one out. And the Nintendo 3DS, quite busy, but it was actually one of the only stands where you could literally just walk on and have consoles to play, so that's kind of a bad thing for Nintendo. So what we're looking at there, I don't know who them girls are for, but yeah, there's lots of booth girls, as always at these kinds of shows. So if you're going for that kind of reason, go and check it out. What we're coming up to now is a PlayStation area. I don't know what it's advertising in general, so we'll skip past that. Saints Row again. Saints Row was 18 plus, and that's why a lot of these booths seem quite enclosed. Anything that was 18 plus was not allowed to be viewed by anybody under the age of 18, which means that there was inside boxes, which is socially correct, but it also kind of changed the feel of the show. I prefer an over 18s area and have everything opened up to this kind of one area and 18s pluses in boxes, because the inboxes just kind of spoiled the actual experience. We're going on to the Warner Brothers stand now. Now, Warner Brothers had a few good games. I mean, Lord of the Rings, War in the North, and Batman Arkham City. I got to play both of these games, and Batman was one of the games that I was really looking forward to before I actually got at Gamesfest, and to be honest, I wasn't disappointed, but it feels like Arkham Asylum. That's not a bad thing, but it doesn't feel like it's expanded very much since the original, which is not disappointing, like I say, but I'm sure there'll be more in the full game. So WWF or WWE or whatever it's called now, not much of a wrestling fan, but yeah. There's lots of these like life-size models standing around, which is quite cool. Now we look at the All Zombies Must Die stand, and to be honest, the game looks fun, but I'm probably going to boycott the game just off the original game's fail. It was horrible. Kick Energy was there again, doing the normal thing of the Kick Energy truck. You can play Bulletstorm if you set a high score. I think you got the Kick Energy van to go to your workplace or go to a party or something, which is always good. This is a company now coming up that I haven't really heard of. Yeah, Vibe OptiSound. It's basically a subwoofer that you can buy on your own. The subwoofer sounded cool. It was to work with your normal TV speakers, so that was quite good. We've got Roxio, which do game capture, so if you're doing a PC and you're using Fraps, you can always try Roxio. MSI was here with their new range of laptops, and I was quite impressed. Some of these laptops were playing like Call of Duty. Even the cheap laptops, which come in at like £500, are playing Call of Duty fine. So it wasn't Call of Duty Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2, but the game played really well. So it just shows what laptops are becoming more and more capable of. We had Level Up Wear or Level Up Gear, I can't remember, and they was doing t-shirts and, well, basically just t-shirts. All the t-shirts were branded to do with gaming, so it had like gaming characters. So yeah, where are we off to now? I can't even remember. The queues for Skyrim though, look at the state, that was just epic. I get a wave here. Root. Win. Wave of win. We had boystuff.co.uk, and they was having all sorts of chairs and places to sit to do your gaming. Some of them are gimmicky and some of them are fucking amazing. I mean, I want some of these chairs. Not all of them though. Some of them are a bit gimmicky to say the least. But no, if you just get yourself a nice office chair, or you want to be having a chair for gaming, check out boystuff.co.uk. Serious fun. Yes. But no, really comfortable. I did sit down on them. And we finally get to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the game that a lot of people are going to Gamesfest to see. And the queues show that. I spoke to a few people. I did not bother going into Modern Warfare 3. I spoke to the people at Activision. They weren't up for letting me to go in and have a quick sneaky peek. But yeah, apparently the queues were 3 to 3.5 hours long at some point. Some people say it was only 2.5 hours. But either way, apparently you got 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and I just couldn't justify queuing up for that amount of time when I had so many other great games that I wanted to check out. It was very, very popular. And it was all behind closed doors. Such a shame. So coming up now, we have Street Fighter vs Tekken. This game was getting played non-stop, and I spoke to a few Street Fighter fans, and it was kind of a mixed review. Some people were saying that it's great, a new direction for the game, it's really changing things up, and other people were saying, what's up with Super Street Fighter? It's just come out, it's really popular, and it kind of breaks a few things, and obviously mixing two fighting games together is going to break some things. We'll have to find out when it's released and people get their hands on it full time and sit down for like 6 hours non-stop playing with a single character to see what the balancing issues are like. Prototype 2 was also here. I'd never played this game. I kind of wish I did sneak through to play, but I couldn't be bothered. It didn't look that popular. I don't know where the queue was. It was just one of those games which kind of was hidden around. I played the original. It was a good game, so I'm probably going to buy this game, but I'm not looking forward to it, if you know what I mean. The James Bond GoldenEye Reloaded 007, the Aston Martin was here. I want that car. I probably would not want to drive it because I'm like a granddaddy or something like that, but yeah, the car looks nice. That was there. The Activision stand was relatively big. We had Formula 1 2010, which had, I don't know if it's a real Formula 1 car, but it looked expensive and shiny and it's cordoned off, so it may well be, and it says Cosworth on it, so I don't know what that is, but yeah, at least it was there. And I'm guessing, I didn't even notice this when I was filming, but that was Lewis Hamilton's rags in the background. And the queue were quite big, which is, again, surprising for a Formula 1 game. I did not expect that whatsoever, but then again, there wasn't really that many good driving games to pull the crowds in. So we're walking over to SteelSeries now, and this is a PC gaming channel, so you should probably know that we're PC gamers, and we like SteelSeries, Razer, and all those other companies which make great gaming peripherals. SteelSeries had a new mouse there called the Sensei, and it was a really good mouse. You can actually just see it now at the bottom right hand corner. I'm probably going to get a review product of that, so we'll let you know what we think about that. It'll probably be one of the first reviews that we actually do on the channel. So yeah, the SteelSeries had Rock Band going on with competitions. They seem to be doing that everywhere they go now. They did that at iSeries and a few other events. So yeah, I don't know nothing about Rock Band. It's a console game. I'm not against consoles, I just don't play them, so I have nothing to do with what these games are. Over here we had EGL. Actually no, we've gone over to Retro Gamers Expo, which is just basically what it sounds like. It's advertising an expo which is all about retro games. Yeah, see, Replay Retro Zone. All the games, play them, please. They're good, really good. Okay, so over here what you can see now is the EGL, formerly known as the ECL. It's actually a new company, only a couple of years old, and what they do is specialise in going around Europe and playing games for big prizes. It's kind of a English version of MLG, or European version of MLG, or any of the big tournaments. Age of Empires Online, I wanted to sit down and play it, I just did not have the time. I feel so gutted because Age of the Empires is one of the first games I played on the PC. I'm really going to have to try and jump onto the beta or try and get a sneaky peek game. I actually don't know what the EGL was doing here today, so I'm probably going to have to check up online, and I'll probably have coverage on that eventually anyway. But yeah, the European Gaming League. It used to be called the European Console League, but recently they've started doing StarCraft and a few other games, so yeah, they had to change it. Well, they didn't have to, but they chose to change it to represent what they do fully, and that was a good win. So this is Disney Universe. I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be an MMO RPG based on Disney Universe. I've heard about it, I just haven't really done much with it. Forza Motorsport 4 was playable. Again, it was one of the few games which didn't have a large queue. I don't know why, just didn't. And now we are heading back over towards, I think we're on our way over to Assassin's Creed, if I'm correct, which is actually in that white tent. Anyone who plays Assassin's Creed will recognise that red logo and know that already. But yeah, so that's where we was off. The queue is actually where then people are sat down. I don't think it was a long queue. Don't think it was actually one of the more popular games there, which is a shame, because I actually like the Assassin's Creed games. Well, I don't. I like Assassin's Creed 2. I've not played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and the first one was horrendous on the PC. The control scheme was just like, what were you thinking? But yeah, that's just what I feel. And to be honest, I'm not a great fan of Ubisoft at the moment. I think they've really got a huge cock and shoving up the arses of PC gamers, which is a shame because they make some good games, but they just seem to think that all PC gamers are here to rip them off. Game had a massive stand right in the centre of the actual show, and what they were doing was taking pre-orders and selling games, like they do best. I suppose they have to try and make a bit of profit. Mountain Dew was also around, and they was giving away free bottles of Mountain Dew, so if you see lots of people walking around from it, isn't because there's a massive changing trend in what people drinks. I still had my bottle of Coke, but yeah, I'm guessing a lot of people are probably going to start drinking that from now on. I heard a lot of people speaking about it, and they were saying about how nice it was, I'm not a fan of the Mountain Dew bottles. I love the cans that we used to get imported at the iSeries, a gaming event which used to be held in Newbury. But right now, I think Mountain Dew isn't around because it's got something banned in it, which this bottle version hasn't. Resident Evil, the Umbrella Chronicle, what number? Operation Raccoon City. Blah. Too many Resident Evil games. Got to play it, really liked it. I'm probably going to try and get a longer bit of gameplay because I wasn't allowed to record. Probably going to get a bit of longer gameplay of that and actually speak you through it, because I think it's got some really interesting kind of characteristics, and I think it'd be a lot better if it isn't being released so close after games like Dead Island, because it kind of changes what we think about zombie games. But for a title which you're just going to run around and start blasting stuff, I think it's going to be great. This that we're looking at now is the queue for Battlefield 3. It was huge. It was not as big as Modern Warfare 3, but it also had 2 queues, one for the single player and one for the multiplayer. Single player was not as busy and the multiplayer was packed, but I played the alpha, so I didn't want to waste my time lining up for the chance to play it here. But I'm assuming it's not changed much since the alpha at the moment. So yeah, if you haven't played it and you never managed to get on the alpha, probably queue up and give it a go. The StarCraft, the Old Republic. I keep wanting to say Knights of the Old Republic. It is not, but Star Wars, the Old Republic, that was here as well. And that was, I think, apart from the MSI stand, the only place where you could play a game with a mouse and keyboard, which is a massive shame. I wish that publishers would come, even with just a couple PCs. You can even plug an Xbox controller in there, but just give a couple of people the opportunity to play the games on a PC. Not because I've got anything against the consoles, don't get me wrong. I have a disability in my thumb, which means that I've got damaged nerves. I cannot control a joypad. And so when I come to these events, I feel left out. I can struggle and not get the whole entirety of the gameplay experience because of a dodgy hand. But these games look so much better on a PC. I mean, I thought EA might have brought the PC version because, after all, they've only just started going into the console stuff. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, and I hope that anybody who decides to go to GameFest has a really good time. And thank you for checking the video out. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. It is very important to me as a starting out channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.